What up, everybody? I'm back for another podcast, guys. Unfortunately, well, what's his name? Anderson, my co-host. He's not able to be here today. So unfortunately, it's just me. But the show must go on, as they say in the show business. But anyway, so it's just me helping me with my crew, which is one person. It's me. It's actually a 2-person crew today. It's me and what's his name, Mauricio, behind the cameras today, and he helped me actually set up a whole thing, bro. Like, it was basically by himself. I was pretty busy today, so shout out to him, and with the help that he's giving me today, he's been very helpful. I'm gonna. And if you guys have any comments, let me know if everything sounds good, if everything looks good, which I'm pretty sure it does, because my man here, Mauricio, did a good job. But I trust him. I totally trust him. But just let me know, guys. And first of all, before I start, hit that like button, give that a subscribe. If you guys give it a like, it pushes up in the algorithm. It gives us the suggestions for other people. So, push it up there, push it up in those places. Yeah, and tell us where you're watching. Tell us where you're watching, and if you're watching in your house, in your room, in your car, what were you doing? Were you doing homework? Were you doing homework are you watching this instead of doing your homework? I don't know. Who knows? Because it's school season. We don't know yet. I mean, just let us know. Let us know what's going on. By us, me, and Mauricio, because it's just me and him today. But shout out to him. I wish I could mic him up, but I can't. Oh well. Yeah. So anyway, so today's topic is a very interesting one. This happened about a few days ago, and it's a very interesting topic that I got to see lately. It's it's something that, even when, Satan works in ways where he isolates you or makes you think certain things, you can still find him in certain ways. You can still find him no matter what, no matter where you are. He just finds you. So which is dope. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are or who you're with, he finds you anyway. By the way, people on Facebook, also give us a like and share it to everybody that you know. Share it to every group. Share it to everybody out there. Sorry, I'm holding too much stuff. I'm going to get a little sip. Sorry if you heard of that drinking, but anyway, I'm going to sit this down. All right. On to the podcast. Facebook people, share to your friends. Share it to your group chats. Share it to Messenger. I've shared this too. I always share mine. So just give us a comment so we can interact with you guys online, interact with all of you. So you can, if you guys have any questions about what's going on, right? I know I'm stalling. Does it sound like I'm stalling? I'm not trying to stall. I want to talk to you guys. And it just feels weird. It honestly feels weird without another guy here. Another really tall guy that's he's 4 inches taller than me. He's 6 foot and I'm 5'6". So I don't know. By the way, I don't know if many of you saw that post on Instagram where we took a picture and we were looking like we were recording. That video is still in process, guys. I'm still kind of learning about the editing stuff. I have it edited, but I needed to get it a second view on it to see the coloring, how the color looked like, how the sound was. So I finished it, but I'm getting it checked by other people to see if it looks really good. That's because I want to give you guys the best quality, guys. I'm trying to be picky so it can be best for you guys, so it can look best for you guys. So look out for that. We're gonna make a vlog out of that too. We're gonna show you all that stuff. It's gonna just hold on tight for us. Just hold on tight. I promise you that I will be posting that soon. I'll be posting that on the internet. But I hope I hope that you guys enjoy that video that we made. down in the forest. We don't want to say because I feel like they'll make money. We'll be saying that a lot in the video because I've been watching a lot, obviously, because I'm editing it. But yeah, so just look out for that. We made our new YouTube channel, by the way. If you haven't subscribed to it, it's YU Podcast. I think I'm gonna add it into the description below. Actually, I don't know if you can figure it out, Mauricio, on the PC. But if he can, he'll add it right now onto the description right there. It's already on our YouTube studio all set up for him. So if he could add that, maybe if he can find a link. If he can't, then I would just add it to later. All right. To the topic, guys. I'm distracting you guys. That's what you users are here for. So to know my opinion, right? Because you guys care about my opinion about certain things that happen in the world. But anyway, so Shia LaBeouf recently he's starting in a movie where he plays this priest that he was a really famous priest in the Catholic Church. In no way, shape, or form do I know 100% if this man is a Christian or this man is a follower of Jesus for real. We don't know if it's just method acting. We don't know if it's just all that stuff. So I don't know. We don't know. He could just be method acting. He could be for real. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, to be honest. I don't read people like that. But what I do hope for this man is that he does receive Christ in his heart. He made an interview with a priest. He made an interview recently with a priest, talking about how he is coming to faith. He is coming to Christ. He says that it's with Bishop Barron. So if you guys look up that video, he talks with this bishop, which is a priest, a Catholic priest, and he talks about his journey, about finding Jesus, about finding the truth, about finding all that. What's it called? He tells his story on how he's felt about religion and how he's felt about certain things in his past with his life, how he's been divorced and how he feels sad all the time. And he's just been explaining that the whole time. He's just explaining just his path and his spiritual life. And what I found interesting is, first of all, that when he started his journey in this, just because he had to learn a little bit about this religion just so that he could play this role. Looks like he added it on the description. What's his name? Mauricio. So you can look up there. You can look in there. Let me double check that. Yeah, he looks like he got it. He got it. There you go. Good job, Mauricio. Thank you. But he says in his interview how he's been and how he's been in his journey. And in this journey, he had to go to a priest, and he said he's never heard, he has heard about Christianity, but he hasn't heard it very well. He said he equated with art and God, right? Art is God, you know what I mean? Whatever you believe is, whatever you do, whatever you yourself are God. And so I think that has been a lot more pushed nowadays in this society, because when you talk about people with God, they just kind of believe hey, you got it, you yourself are God, you control your life, you control what happens around you, control everything. And he kind of pushed that in, and I feel like that's a lot of what people believe. But he says that he actually, when he went through with those priests, when he went to go meet them, when he was hanging out with them, he's been around them. He says that he's never really heard the gospel for real. He's never really heard the gospel for real. Which is, and it's kind of interesting how he hasn't really heard the gospel for real, and how this is kind of his first time, and in no way, shape, or form, he's being saved by Catholics, which I don't agree with everything they say. I don't agree exactly with everything they believe. We have differences in what they believe and what they and their doctrines are. But the fact that he's finding God, and it seems like this man is getting closer to God. If I find it very interesting. I find it very compelling that he's going through all that and he's finding the gospel. I mean, it's interesting that we believe that maybe a lot of people in America just have heard the gospel at least once or know about it, but it's like not true. It's not true at all, because like not necessarily true, because there's a lot of people that don't really seek it, or maybe don't really care about it because they didn't really hear about it closely. The second thing that I found very interesting about his story, though, is that the fact that he says that a lot of it is how he found, in a sense, the love of the people in the church, right? And so when he was there and when he was in the church, a lot of them just received him and loved him. You know what I mean? They treated him like one of his own. They treated him very well. They treated him very good, and they didn't care about like what he was in the past. They just wanted him to be saved. They just wanted him to hear the gospel, and which is really a sad thing, honestly, nowadays, because you see a lot of Christians and you see a lot of people push away people like these people and just start judging them for their past. When we are not really called for that, to call them out for their past. Like, I mean, obviously they have a past because they don't have Christ in their heart. They don't have that conviction in their heart at all. They don't have that conviction in them. And so how can you judge a person by not knowing Christ and not, they're living a life of sin? And obviously that's obvious, but when they seem interest and when they come into a church, the thing that we must do is show love. I mean, as Christians, we should be showing love full-heartedly, like showing the love of Christ, and in the interview, there's an example of where Jesus sat with the sinners. He sat with the prostitutes. He sat with the drunkards. He sat with all these people that, even like in the Pharisees would judge him for doing. They would tell him like, don't sit with these Pharisees because like they're sinners. How if this man knew, like, for example, I don't know what chapter it is in Matthew, but there's a part where Jesus is invited to these Pharisees' house, and in that, this woman comes in and just pours him with perfume, like just pours him and starts cleaning, and then she starts. I think it's the same woman where she cries and she starts drying his feet. Oh crap! Drying his feet with her hair, and the Pharisees are like, yo, like, you know who this person is? Like, if he knew who this person was, then he wouldn't let her clean his feet or give his perfume. And then Jesus is like, he asked Peter, hey, like, there's two men, right? There was two men. One owed $1 million and one owed, $1,000. And the man, I'm just paraphrasing, I'm just cutting it off shorter. But the man that owed $1 million, right? He forgave him. So he forgave both, but the man that was owed $1 million was more grateful. Like, he was more grateful and more excited about the forgiveness that he received. But Jesus asked Peter, he's like, who do you think would felt the more forgived? Who felt more great about it? And he was like, well, I mean, the person that owed $1 million. I mean, he probably could never pay it off. And he's like, and you're right. And he's like, this woman, came here, took care of me, and you guys, received me and didn't even offer to clean my feet. Back then, it wasn't a custom to clean my feet. It's like nowadays where when someone comes to your house and it's a custom just to offer them a glass of water. Speaking of drink time. All right. Shout out to what's his name, Mauricio, because he gave me that water. I was like, please, can you give me a water? But yeah, so in the same way, he was like, you guys didn't even offer me to clean my feet, and back then that was an equivalent of what is today. Could I give you a glass of water? Like that's the least you can give to a person when you come to a house. That's the least you can do for someone. Sorry guys, when I lean, my chin bumps the thing, so sorry. I don't know if that's affecting the sound. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. But anyway, yeah. So that's crazy. Like in that same example, this man, and then I'm not saying maybe he's method acting. I don't know, but if it's true that he really received Christ, that is one way we can receive Christ. I mean, Christ set the example of doing that also, like of loving the sinner, loving them, and being with them and showing them compassion. You know what I mean? And he's like, and there's a point where he's like, God, where the priest says like, oh yeah, but God still loved the sinner even though you were undeserving. And there's a point where Shia LaBeouf kind of like puts his body language where he's like, yeah, that's me. That's probably me. That's me, because like I deserve damnation because I'm such a sinner. I'm such a person that has done wrong, who's done terrible things. And yeah, and it's like a lesson to learn with this man, like even though he's entrenched in all of that, God can still reach him. He says that he wasn't an atheist necessarily. He believed in a higher power, but he didn't really believe in him. He knew like Sam Harris. If you guys don't know who Sam Harris is, he's like a philosopher, but he's an atheistic philosopher. So he kind of believes like there's no free will, where like our minds are the free will. Like we don't have free will. Like everything is predestined in a sense where our mind just decides for us what we're going to do next, right? So everything is just instinct. What I'm doing now is instinct. What you listening to me is instinct. Like you don't have your own free will. Your own biology just decides for you, right? So you're just decide. Your body decides for you, like what it thinks it's beneficial to you. So you don't decide, and so that's what Sam Harris believes. And he likes to say like religious people are like not smart and they're inferior in mind, and so and he listened to Christopher Hitchens also the same way. He also debates Christians and tries to debunk the Bible, but he says that even when he was at the point of listening to those people, he didn't think there was a not a higher power. He still believed there was a higher power. He didn't really. He said he was more of an agnostic, which is kind of crazy, He said he liked debating. He liked debating people. And he's just like, it was mostly because I wanted to win debates. He's like, I love debating and I wanted to win debates, which is also a problem nowadays in our culture with younger people. They love debating and the fact that we want to be right. And I think that's what he saw with these priests, where like they didn't necessarily want to be right. Which is obviously we are the truth. We know we have the truth in fullness. But for example, when I debate people, I don't just debate to win an argument. I debate so I could win their souls, right? To show them and take out the veil off their eyes and tell them, hey, like the truth is this, and what you're believing is not the truth. This is the truth. We forget that we must do it with care and kindness when we evangelize, and which is great with this man Shia LaBeouf and what's been happening lately with him and what he's been believing and what his journey has been. It's been very interesting on what his path has been. Seeing like what God has led him to. And I hope to pray for him receiving God and fully receiving God and receiving Jesus, knowing that he's a wretched sinner, knowing that he is undeserving, because he even says that he's like, I've lived the life of riches. I've lived the life of fame and knowing. And he says like, it doesn't fulfill you for anything, right? He's like, I've had all of that and still I felt depressed. Like he says, like I had depression. My life was going down, and he wasn't getting any roles anymore. He was getting no more roles. And then he got this new role, and it's going to be with the guy from Spider-Man. What's his name? No, what's that guy's name? The Grim Goblin. What's that guy's name? Freak. I forgot his name. The guy that's Green Goblin though in the first movies, and Tobey Maguire. His name is, I forgot his name. Mercy's looking it up. But anyway, he's gonna do a movie with him. And he's like, oh dang, like I'm gonna make a movie. I have no purpose, like, and that's what made him get into that role where he had to study this priest, the really famous priest. I forgot his name, sorry. But he's like, oh, I'm gonna come back to my famous self because my life has sucked. And he's like, what's his name? Oh, Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe is the guy. Thank you, Marcio. Willem Dafoe. He's making a movie with Willem Dafoe, which is a great actor. I like how he played Green Goblin, by the way. But he's gonna do this movie with Willem Dafoe. He's gonna make a great movie, but like I said, he had to learn the religion a little bit more, and in his process, knowing that fame couldn't take him to happiness, fame couldn't take him to peace, because he said it was moments where he wanted to kill himself. He didn't want to live anymore, and he found Jesus, and now he finds a true purpose to life, and what the true purpose of humans it really is to find Christ full-heartedly and to love him full-heartedly. And I'm really excited for this man. I'm really excited for what he has. I really hope that it's not just a method acting, which it could be just a method acting, but he says that his life has just changed. His life has been different. His life is, his life is just like completely different. He knows the meaning of life now. And if he's telling the truth, I really, really resonate to that, because that's how my life was too. I mean, I looked at my life with drugs, with friends, and none of that seemed to fulfill me. I like how Apologia Studios says it. Well, more like Cultish. I don't know if they both say it. I don't really listen to Apologia Studios. I'm more to Cultish because it's very interesting. By the way, Cultish, if you guys want to listen to a good podcast, it's a Christian podcast, and you want to learn about cults, that's a good podcast. Cults is just like, kind of like Mormonism, or like La Luz del Mundo. I don't know if you guys heard of that one. That one's an interesting cult. Look it up. It's a pretty interesting cult. Anyway, so they just talk about cults like that. But anyways, they said that we try to fill our lives, our hearts, like we try to fill a hole, a Jesus shaped hole, right? So we all have like a Jesus shaped hole in our lives, right? Where we try to fill it. Have you seen like those toys where there's like a square and a triangle and a circle, like holes, and then you just get the thing and then it goes right through. So like we all have that hole of like a Jesus shaped hole. That's a tongue twister. And we all try to fill it with different things, but it's not the correct size, right? We'll never fill it because it's not that size. You can try to put a square into a triangle, but it will never fit, right? But the true hole that we have to fill in our hearts, and the void, is Jesus. Like that, the hole that we say has to be fit by Jesus, right? Because it's the hole that's the same exact size, and we always try to fill it with other things that will never be fulfilled in our hearts. I don't know if that analogy makes sense. They explain it a lot better. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say, though. Like, even me as an atheist, not believing in God, not believing in Him, I try to fill it with other things, and it didn't work. And it led me to a sadness, a depression. But once I found Christ, the Holy Spirit filled me, and I had a new purpose, a true purpose. loving Christ, to loving Him, to being saved, to serving Him full-heartedly. And yeah, I mean, I'm very interested in his journey. I'm 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 gonna pray for him. I'm gonna definitely pray for him. Um, and I hope that his journey really comes into fruition with Christ. That he may love Him full-heartedly. Um, that's what I really hope for him, for Shia LaBeouf. And no matter, like, this is not a fight between, if because he's Catholic, he might not be saved. No, like, we don't have to deal with that right now. What we have to deal with is, hey, he seems like to love Christ, to want to know Him more, and he seems to see the love of God truly, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it for him. But yeah, I mean, by the way, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a share on Facebook if you really like this content. Like I said, we have a new YouTube channel, so I'm gonna upload this onto the new YouTube channel. For those of you that are subscribing to it, guys, I love making this content. Shout out to Mauricio for helping me out today. Dang, did a good job. But if Anderson, if you're watching this, come next time, please. Just kidding. This is weird. I haven't done this by myself once, so it just felt a little weird. But pause. Guys, I get thirsty like this all the time, but I just don't drink any. I don't have any water next to me when I'm doing the normal podcast. So sorry about that. I just keep pausing about the water. But yeah, I mean, leave a comment to this video if you have any comments. Afterward, if you're watching after the stream, you could let me know the comments, and if you have any questions, let me know what you thinking and what any questions for us. I will answer it as best as I can. But yeah, other than that, God bless you guys. God bless you guys for everything. God bless you guys for, all that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.